All right, we're live. Jeff Bruno, your outsourced CFO. It is January. I remember December chatting with everyone. If I believe there was the discussion about the second round of PPP coming, and lo and behold, it has, which is awesome. I have specifically already done 2 clients in different bank portals. It is phenomenal. It's working. We're getting submittals to the SBA. Go get them, guys. If you can get it, you had a 25% decrease in a quarter or the year. Go get it. It's out there. Keep your businesses rolling. And let's keep chatting. So, again, I want to emphasize here, I am here. If you guys have questions through Sean, feel free. If you know you really are stuck on something, happy to hop in occasionally. Here to support Sean in his effort to continue to add value to everyone who's part of this membership. As that's one of my main tenets of our business is continuing to add value to the small business world and small business owners. So I welcome everybody to 2021, new administration, new priorities. Here we go. Everybody stay safe. Let's get through this. Questions. So I have them now over here on a screen to my left or to my right, whichever you're viewing me here. So I'll do that as I read the questions. Roland, good to see you again. So this is Roland Bernath. His question: do I go separate ways and build my own, or is it always this hard to work with family? In our family company, my father is the owner, and I'm supposed to take over the company in a few years. I came to work for him a year ago. On the side, I have an import-export business that I believe has potential. Recently, I'm realizing he has been very abusing emotionally. I came home to work for him, with him, but he looks at me as any other worker, not respecting my qualities of speaking several languages. Having experience in management. He wants to make me do physical work and tells me I'm lazy when I tell him this is not what I'm here for. Long term, I see a big potential in our family business, building up logistics, e-commerce, etc. But right now, we are just fighting because he is trying to micromanage everything and me as well. Many times I feel like I'm wasting my time and potential here. My mental energy is draining, but I'm the oldest son in the family and was pretty much programmed that it's my responsibility to take over the company. I do feel emotionally attached, but I feel like I'm destined for bigger things in life. Woo! Roland, that's a loaded question. Not too much finance in there, or finance strategy, but it's okay. So how do I speak to this? So we deal with family businesses a lot. We deal with family dynamics, and I can tell you that very early on, 7 years ago, I had a client, and his wife was the bookkeeper. And I said to him about a year in, I let it go for a while, maybe a year and a half in, as I said, look, your wife is not good at bookkeeping. And because she's not good at bookkeeping, your books are never right. And we struggle to give you the strategic advice because we're not doing your bookkeeping. And so you need to fire your wife. And he's like, oh, okay, you guys are probably right. And so they were fighting too, and so on and so forth. His wife was actually pretty strong personality. And so he did. Took him a little while to come to the decision, probably about another 6 to 8 months. But he did. And then a little bit after that, he was a 6-year client of ours. A little bit after that, maybe a year later, he said, thank you, Jeff. I said, what? He said, not only have you helped my business, now we have more clarity with a better bookkeeping situation, but you helped my marriage. So I bring that up because family businesses are hard, as you note, Roland. Especially fathers, sons. I could see you battling there. So, I mean, Well, my first question would be, do you have equity in the company, or is it all your father's? If you don't have equity, that could be a problem. And does your father want to give you ownership of the business? I would ask him that. Now, look, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not this, but I've seen this a lot. Ask your father if he wants to give you equity. If he says no, then go do something else, because he will never release what his scenario is, and that probably means that long term there's really maybe not a position for you. We have other companies where the father owns, like this one company we have, father owns 78% and the son owns 22%. And slowly he keeps giving more equity to his son. That's the tax advantage ways over a period of time. So if that's something you should that your father's willing to do, then maybe he actually can change a little and think of you more as a partner. But maybe you're wasting your time if he won't. So try it. Ask him. I don't know what else to tell you, but import-export is a huge business now. So if you're doing that on the side as well, that sounds awesome. And that's only going to get bigger as we move into the continued global world. So hopefully that was some thoughtful advice for you. Next submitter, Dan Razmovsky. Dan says, what is the best accounting process to implement or keep track of expenses during a project to track profitability in real time? His business is working construction and multiple projects going on at one time. Need to know what costs to go with what projects. Looking to scale to 10 projects at once. Need a scalable system for each location. So his company specializes in decks and roof replacements. And you're looking to grow to 5 locations in the state of Colorado. Dan, awesome. Let's grow it, baby. I love it. So construction is a little tricky. So my advice. There's a software called Builder Trend. Builder Trend. It's a great software on the front end. It does not have to do with accounting, although I think they have some tie-ins to accounting, or they might have an accounting piece within their system. I haven't used it. But Builder Trend is a good project management type software and allows you to not only tag the cost of goods or the expenses tied to each project, but they'll allow you to run labor through it as well, track time through it with labor, and so on and so forth, and set project timelines and so on. It's a great software. It's pretty easy to use. I haven't used it, but I've seen it. So I would use that on the front end. Set it up early so that when you're ready to scale, you can do that. The other thing to think about is, if that's not an option for you, QuickBooks Online does have good project accounting add-ons to it. So you could use that. And I would highly recommend that if you don't want to go Builder Trend. You absolutely want to tie your costs to a project. So not only setting up budgets for it by project, but also setting up certain tags that flow in, as you note, expenses to the project so you can see where you're going. A big thing that happens with construction companies that I've seen, and we don't work that much now with construction, but I have in the past, what I've seen is, and it's not your fault per se, but I've seen, you get into a remodel or something, or a deck, or a roof replacement or something, and you're digging in to do the deck, and I'm just making this up, but you hit concrete underground. They had some patio buried beneath dirt. You hit a concrete as you're trying to put the deck in, and now you need to bring in the big tools to dig through the concrete to put the fortification in or the foundation in. So, this, but that's a change order function. So what's big to do in there is to figure out how you're rolling with it and make sure that your change orders are clearly set up for processing fast. Builder Trend will probably know how to do that. I'm sure you can do something in QuickBooks too, but you want to have those change orders ready to go, because that will suck your profitability away. If you're spending 6 hours jackhammering through concrete where it would have taken you 30 minutes to put in a foundation, that's obviously a problem, and is gonna cause profitability issues, and frankly probably tire out your guys. You got to think about that. So those are things that we always want to say. And then what else? And just set it up by project. It's pretty easy. That's how you do it. And then you want a little bit of an overhead function outside of that, like what's your admin function to run through the projects. Set that up too. So I have a budget of $100,000. My admin person, this to do my my processing with bank draws, if you're going to be dealing with that, A1A documents, things of that nature. You want some admin function there. You want a budget for that, and you can set that all up in your accounting software. So hopefully that was helpful. Definitely set that up before you scale. All right, next question. There are not too many guys today either, so this should be a little bit quick. Zach Knock is the next submitter. Says, how do you avoid entrepreneurial burnout? And what are some things I can do to change up my duties from day to day? I own a security company. We specialize in working with access control, cameras, and security systems for both commercial and residential applications. I'm feeling slightly burnt out from all the tasks that I have to do throughout the day and the weeks. Sales, invoicing, weekly expense reviews, meetings, installation of projects, and service. I have a morning meditation I try to do and get my mind in the right place, as well as mountain bike riding. It seems as if I have a robot brain or something. I want every day to be my honeymoon day. Ha! I appreciate the time answering this question. So Zach, not uncommon, of course, with us entrepreneurs. Me too. I've had times where I just have done too much. And I can tell you this, Zach. Let me be extremely clear here. I've read a lot of books. I'm really staying ahead of this as I scale and grow. I'm 8 people now in my organization. So it is not about how you do it, Zach. It's about who. Or what in some cases, if it's an admin VA, virtual assistant scenario, which is ultimately a who, but it could be a service. It's all about who. So you say, here's how I do it. You take it. You then translate that to a who can do it better than you, faster than you maybe, or just take it off your plate, and they don't mind doing it. You might hate, for example, doing weekly expense reviews, invoicing. I don't know what you do or don't like, but you want to find the person that can take that off your plate, or the service. So that is the only way that you can stop yourself from getting burnt out. Now, is it going to cost you a little more in the beginning? Sure, it always does. However, it will give you leaps and bounds of brain space. Like you say, you have to meditate. It'll give you that creative brain space. It'll re-energize you because it's the stuff that you like doing. Like this. I enjoy doing presentations and lives. I don't mind this stuff. I could do this 3 times a day, 4 times a day. But when I get in the weeds on some financial projections, I can do it too, but I'm not really amazing at it. Like Excel work, I'm good at reading it and understanding it and translating it, but I'm really not good at like the minutia of it. So I have other people on my team that do that better. So I can be explaining it on the camera live to people or with clients. So it helps your creativity, your energy. So it's about who, Zach. So work towards that, man. That's my best advice. Allison, next submitter, Allison Konyagi. Allison says, what is the best way to pass a fee on for a new software to my clients? Business, digital marketing agency, Konyagi. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. I have a new software that I want to introduce to my clients, but it does cost me a fee every month to use it. It will improve customer service and communication with clients. Since the fee is a bit high, I was going to pass this fee on to my clients, which will end up being nominal for them if I spread it out. How do I go about wording my email to them about this new fee? I want to express that this new software will bring a lot of value to them while also explaining why I'm raising their rates. I also don't want to make them angry for raising the rates on them during the insensitive time when many businesses are struggling. Thank you for your time on this. Okay, Allison, this is tricky. And not that tricky, but it's tricky in the time, as you note. Businesses are looking at savings across the board. They don't necessarily want to pay more right now. So there's two ways you can approach this. I would look at what's the ROI for you. Let me be clear. You said it's a software that improve customer service and communication with your clients. So is there an ROI on your side on that? So for example, let's say your time is worth $150 an hour, making something up, which for digital marketing is probably a decent blended rate of where you would charge. So let's say it's $150 an hour. It's your time. So let's say this new software saves you 1 hour per client per month. What if you have 10 clients? That's $1,500. So then my question is how much does that software cost? So if the software is $1,500 a month, then don't charge your clients. You just saved yourself an hour of time by implementing this new software. And it made your process and customer service better with your clients, which in theory, in turn increases retention with your clients in this time period, which is what you want, and also gets you better referrals, which increases your business development function and overall can help you increase your business faster. So what I'm saying to you is I'm viewing this software as an investment in your company to help you keep clients faster, get business, and that on its own is probably worth so much more than the software cost that you're talking about here. That would be my recommendation if you can afford it. If you can afford it. If it's too much for you, okay, maybe you have to do some things there. That's one way I would think about this. Really, honestly think about that. The other side is maybe you're underpricing a little for your clients anyway. So maybe you say to them, look, I'm going to improve all of this process. You're going to see improvement. And maybe you don't charge them quite as much as the software, but you up them, 2%, 5% on their fee, and they won't even skip a beat. And they'll be like, okay, your value's there, but if you're going to do more value, we'll go along with you. And now you've increased your overall revenue, and you're off to the races. You could also try that. But like you said, I'd be careful with where businesses are right now with increasing rates. So it depends on your ROI internally, whether it makes sense immediately for you to do this, you personally or your team, and it depends on how you view this going forward and whether you can take a little bit of a hit on your business to improve the future. So hopefully that helps. And then last question, Heather Brockman. Heather, you always ask questions. I love it. So Heather has the Mobile Pet Salon, and her question is, I was wondering how to handle my management team fraternizing with my grooming staff outside of working hours. I want everyone in the company to get along, but I'm hearing and seeing members of my management team hanging out with the groomers. And this has caused issues in the past. With groomers expecting better shifts, dogs, special privileges, where I can cross the line as the leader between making sure work stays professional, or is what they do on their personal time none of my business. Heather, that's great. And I'm sorry for laughing, but sure, I mean, that's a problem with a growing business. I mean, you're going to have that almost in, it could be in any business that you're in, where people are fraternizing, socializing, drinking, going out, parties, whatever, getting together, whatever it is. I mean, I would say that as the business owner, it's just your duty to have good HR policies in place. We work with a group called the O'Connor Group here. They're awesome. She's actually a mentor, too, on this, Marsha O'Connor. You should ask her directly. She's a mentor for this, for Sean. So ask her, Marsha O'Connor. This is a great question, because this could be an HR nightmare for you. Like if you didn't have the right policies, and what if somebody got hurt or somebody was drinking or something and they cut themselves grooming a dog after hours, or just even a dog. I don't know. There's so many liability things here that I think it's really to have it. I'm not so worried about the socializing per se as I am worried about the HR business liability for you. So I would have pretty strict policies, and I have my employees sign a harassment policy, which is very typical these days too, because a lot of people have lawsuits coming around harassment. It can go both ways, women or men. So I would look into those policies too and have people sign off on that. That protects you as well. So, I don't, if you're trying to build a rapport with your people, it's hard to restrict them socializing. So I think it's just around your liability, and then just tell them to act like, behave normally. And that's what I would say. And maybe you set up some meetings where you're there. Maybe you set up some happy hours where you're also involved to help, sort of set the decorum level. And that's the best I could say. But certainly not uncommon in a growing business. So, you could, potentially have some punitive things in there as well down the road, bonus wise or something, if they're just repeat offenders. But again, this is an HR thing. I wouldn't want to offer too much advice around how you structure that. So hopefully that was helpful, Heather. I love where you're going with the business. Keep it up. Keep me in the loop, because I love, I have Corgi myself, who we love to keep him shortcut. So I get it. And I think the business has a lot of legs to it. I'm so cheesy, Heather. Sorry. So hope this was helpful, guys, without my cheese at the end. And, I think I'm doing a little more with Sean coming up. He keeps hitting me up for some further thoughts. Happy to join. I love helping you guys out. Keep the questions coming, guys. Don't be shy. If I can't answer it, I'll tell you. So nothing is off base and nothing's out of the realm for finance for sure. So this is a short one. The questions were not that many. So hope everybody has a good day. I'm going to end it here, and we'll see you in February. Ciao.